Good boy. Good boy.
I make like
Hey everybody, I'm Katie. That's Fluffy Dog, and we have just launched from the Green River Lakes trailhead to canoe up Green River Lakes, or kayak, whatever we're doing, this kayak thingy. The Green River Lakes are just outside of Pinedale, Wyoming, and it's a set of two lakes with a little portage in between the lakes, and that we'll have to walk. And it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous area. So pretty, and we are blessed to have some pretty nice weather today. Pretty happy about that. Fluffy Dog was not entirely thrilled to be back in the boat, but he's doing good. I'm sticking to the shore so that we're in relatively shallow water, just in case we tip over. I don't think we're gonna, but you know, I would rather tip over in 3 feet of water than, I don't know how deep this lake is in the middle. Deep. What you can't see behind Fluffy is this awesome mountain called Square Top Mountain. You hold still. You don't get to get out of the boat. Why don't you sit down? Instead of making the boat wobble. Nope, going to shore is not happening. That's an awesome way to sit there, Fluffy. That's fantastic. You're not jumping out to shore. If you do, you're gonna make a big mistake. We're making some progress, which is wonderful. What we're gonna do is boat up this lake, portage over a kind of shallow area to the next lake, and find a place to camp. It's so pretty out here. We did just, though, get rocked by a bunch of wake from a boat, because on this lake, motorized boats are allowed. On the next lake, no motorized boats, so we won't have to worry about that on the next lake. But it's absolutely wonderful. Fluffy just went on alert because a whole bunch of ducks just took flight. Are you looking for more ducks? Do you think there's more ducks out there for you? You hear all the little birdies chipping? You're a good boy. Kind of making the boat rock a little bit, but that's okay. I know the boat's rocking a little bit. That's concerning to a Fluffy. Good boy. Good boy. Where's our portage? Well, it's got to be here soon. I think it's up ahead of us, about 75 yards. The water is moving this way through a narrow current. It's coming from the outlet of the upper lake. You can kind of see it better now. We have to go up this stream, and I'm actually letting the current take me so you can see how the current is flowing out of that stream. All right, we are coming up to the riverbank because I just tried to paddle that upstream, and that is not happening until we get to shallower water. It's a very powerful current, even when I stay really close to the bank. So it's time to get out and walk. There we go. The mosquitoes are out and about. That's not so fun. So I am dragging the boat upstream. Fortunately, there's a little marsh right there, but that's okay. I was planning on being in water and having to ford through kind of knee-deep water, but so far I'm on the riverbank and that suits me just fine. See the boat, oh, getting hung up. Let's see. Oh, mosquitoes are bad. So the plan is to drag this boat up this little bit of river. I think it's actually like about a mile. So I'm hoping that it gets a little shallower up here so that we can actually just walk in the river as opposed to on the bank. The current's way too strong to paddle up it. I tried and it just spit me out, back out the channel. So we're walking. We just had to climb over that beaver lodge there. Turns out beaver lodges are pretty sturdy structures, which is awesome. So I think just a little bit further and we'll be able to walk in the river. Fluffy Dog is having a splendid time. I'm running up and down the banks. Now we've got to decide how to get over there. I wish I'd landed on that other shore, but I didn't think about that. So we need to cross this river. It doesn't look too bad right here, and I think we can cross it without swimming. So let's try that. Pretty shallow right here. Whoop! As Fluffy is demonstrating. But it does get deeper. I think Fluffy's finding the shallow spot there. Good boy! Here, I'm gonna grab onto you, buddy. So you don't go floating away. You're gonna end up swimming a little bit, monster. Sadly, I started recording the river crossing and then it stopped recording because I'm sure I accidentally hit a button, but that was some adventure. I'm still in the river, way steep, but I'm getting out. You just did an awesome job swimming, Fluffy. Good boy. All right, let's get up on this bank now. The water is not quite waist deep. I might have to walk in the river a little bit to find a spot to come on shore. It's a lot easier to throw Fluffy up there than it is to get myself. All right, we're walking along the shore. Oh, that's deeper. That's fully waist deep. But I can see that's getting shallower up here and will be easier to get out. Whew. All right, found a good thing to climb up here. Oh, there we go. Well, good thing it's a warm day. Looks like it's getting a little shallower up here. It looks like I need to balance stuff in my boat. It's got kind of a tilt happening. As long as Mom doesn't have to swim through this, we're good. Good boy! Good boy! Hang on! Hang on! We got you! I got you! Good boy! Oh, there's big log. Okay, hang on. Mom's gotta get over this log. Wait. 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 Hang on. Okay. Okay. Back this way. Good boy. Okay, this way. Good boy. Look at you swimming. Good boy. We have made it through a couple kind of deep-ish spots. Fluffy got some help with swimming across them. There's pretty good current, so the deepest one was about chest deep, so pretty deep. But we made it. The boat is still in tow, and we are continuing upstream. Here, good boy. There you are. Fluffy is having the time of his life, except for the swimming part. Got the boat stuck. Fluffy is very much enjoying a little break from the river, and we get to walk on the shore a little bit. I did manage to cross the other side of the river, and it's a little better walking over here. It is a lot easier. Oh. And I think the current's getting better too, because my boat just was catching up to me. Oh, nope. Get off the... I gotta let the current take the boat for a minute. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. Get my rope. The boat is totally leaning to one side. I'm gonna have to fix that when I load it back up. Load it a little more evenly. There are, however, a lot more mosquitoes walking on shore. Whew. Walking right next to the bank. Gotta watch my step. Freaking mosquitoes. All right, we're making progress. Are you having a grand time? You like this part of the trip, huh? Are we there yet? I don't know. Probably hasn't been that long. Let's see, I'm gonna step back down into the water. A little slippy. I think we've been walking about an hour now. Sounds about right. And we're getting closer. We aren't there yet. I'm alternating walking in the river and walking on the bank. Right now, we're walking in the river. The advantage of the river is that there's not so many mosquitoes out here. When you walk on the bank, you get mobbed. But it's definitely a little harder walking because you are walking against the current. But that's okay. We'll be there soon, I think. Real close to the lake. I think I'm actually in paddleable water now. The current is not very strong, but I want to get up around this one little corner up here to be sure, because I can see the water moving my direction up there. So we'll walk a little bit more. Why are you fussing? You're a good boy. All right. Let's push off from the bank. Yay, we can paddle again. We're about to hit the bank. That's fine. But what we're gonna do is head upstream just a little bit more and find a camp spot. And then I'm gonna get out my mosquito repellent because holy cow, the mosquitoes are just eating both of us alive. So a little more paddling and then we'll find camp. We have reached the promised land. We have reached the lake, Upper Green River Lake. We had to get out of the boat again to get up to the lake portion, just for a little bit, like maybe 50 yards, because the current got too strong. The little bit I did paddle, it was really hard paddling, but we gained a lot of distance in a short period of time. Whew. So now we're going to paddle around and find a camp spot. Well, I was going to paddle all around the lake, but we just went around the corner and there's a great camp spot right here that we're going to have lovely views of that in the morning. So let me go see if somebody's there already. And the lovely view. And let's check out this campsite. Just a little, very short walk. There is this very nice campsite right here. So I think that's where we're going to camp. It's a very well established campsite and that's what we want to camp at. We don't want to make a new campsite, even if it's not exactly 200 feet from the lake. You want to camp here and not ruin a new area. So that's what we're going to do. Just a couple minutes ago, something very large just tromped through the woods about 50 yards from here. I caught a little bit of a glimpse of it, and it was very dark and very big, and it is either a bear or a moose. So I am keeping my bear spray handy in my pocket. Snug that up, and we will be protected from the skeeters. My sleeping pad. So I have the Nemo Tensor insulated regular length wide pad. It is so comfortable. It is definitely a favorite purchase, along with the Exped Schnozzle, which is this thing. Yeah. Theoretically, I think this is only supposed to be, is only made to blow up Exped air mattresses, but it works fine on his Thermarest. It works fine on my Nemo. It fits a little bit better on the my actual Exped mattress, but it works for all of them. And it's a very multi-purpose little bag, and way better than all the other airbag things that came with, like the Nemo and other mattresses I have. Way higher volume, and so it takes a lot less to blow up your mattresses. You can even get a bigger one than this. I might do at some point, just because I use this as the dry bag on the inside of my backpack. And a little bigger one would be better for that. Okay. I'm not actually going to open up my bug net yet. I'm just going to put this in here for later because my bug net is covered in mosquitoes. Holy cow. Well, I think I need some food. I am feeling super lazy tonight. So we are having what I was going to have for lunch, but I forgot to have lunch. We are having brie and prosciutto on some bread. And of course Fluffy's got to have some too. It's a little warm today, so my brie is a little soft. And of course Fluffy gets some brie too. There we go. Excellent. Good, easy dinner. You're a good boy. I wasn't actually planning to do any fishing tonight, but there were fish rising like 10 feet offshore, so we're gonna do some fishing. Oh, we lost him. Actually caught one though. Oh, no, he's still out there. We got him. He's a little itty bitty thing. All right, we gotcha. We gotcha. We'll let you go. Are you interested in the little fishy Fluffy? There we go. There he is. He's little bitty, but he's a fish. Let's let you go, bud. Oh, there you go. Well, he's about as teeny tiny as they come, but he was a fish. He counts. I have retreated back to camp and put on more bug spray, but I think we are going to have to hide in our tent because the mosquitoes are so thick, so bad right now. And it's getting late, so I think it's probably time to sit in the tent and read a book. So we're going to do that. And I still have some stories to tell you guys. I've got to tell you a little bit more about this area and what we're going to do tomorrow. I don't actually know what we're going to do tomorrow, so I'm going to make that plan. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And I have a little story about the last time that I did this trip many, many years ago. And we will tell you that tomorrow too. I would love to be out there watching the sunset. Those little bastards, man. They are thick. They're all trying to get into the tent. Oh my goodness. The freaking mosquitoes. A few of them got in the tent when I came diving in here, but I think I've got them all. I think I got them all. The ones that got inside, but they are swarming the tent. I hope I don't have to pee anytime soon. Are you safe from the mosquitoes? Yeah, you can actually get a little sleep now. It's a good boy. Good morning, little buddy. Is it time to get up? Is it time to wake up? Yeah, good boy. Do you want your breakfast? Do you want your breakfast? Fluffy and I are hiding out in the tent because there's a lot of mosquitoes out this morning. We did take a little stroll around our little portion of the lake, and it was very nice early this morning, but the mosquitoes, as soon as the sun came up, the mosquitoes kind of came out in droves. Not as bad as last night, but still a lot of mosquitoes. So my plan is to figure out what I need to take a little boat ride and take a hike and get that stuff together as quickly as possible and get to the boat. I'm hoping that once we're out on the water, we'll have a lot less mosquitoes to deal with. We'll see. Still gonna douse myself liberally with mosquito stuff, but they're pretty bad. Still, it's a beautiful morning, and that's part of the problem, is that there's no breeze whatsoever, and so the mosquitoes kind of have free reign right now. But I'm hoping that will generate a little breeze paddling around the lake, and that should decrease the amount of mosquitoes that are mobbing us. And hopefully we will find a little spot to take a little hike. We could hike Square Top Mountain, but I'm not up for, I think it's like 3,000 foot of elevation gain. Not up for that today. Feeling a little bit lazy. So, little boat ride, short hike, and laze around camp a little bit. I think that sounds like an awesome plan. Camping trips don't have to be always about doing epic things. They can sometimes just be mellow and chill. And that's my plan for the day. Kind of mellow and chill. I think Fluffy will be up for that too. The lake is beautiful and glassy this morning. Perfect time to take the boat out. Fluffy's less convinced that this is the perfect time. Good boy. Good boy. I know that's not your favorite thing to do just right now. Don't jump out. Up, 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 up. All right, let's load the boat. Good boy. Good boy. Sit your butt. Sit your butt. Good boy. Good boy. Very lovely day. I can see a current behind me. So in front of me is the outlet stream. But behind me, I'm not sure if there's a second outlet stream or not, but I could definitely see a current. I kind of want to go over that way because there's a trail there, and we'll just have to see how strong that current is. It looks like if I just stick to paddling around the edges of the lake, I'll stay out of that current. We'll see what happens. We are in a wilderness area, which means there's no mechanized transportation or drones allowed, no bikes. And honestly, I think we kind of have the place to ourselves. There is over to that side. Let me swing around. Behind me is a trail, the Continental Divide Trail, but it also has other trails that branch off from it where we might be able to go hike to see some things if I can get to that trail. I just don't want to get to the trail in a place where I have to climb up a big cliff, and there's a river fly right on my lens. There it goes. Yeah, it's very interesting. The water is completely still at the edges of the lake, but there's current right beside me. Gentle current, I think. I don't think we'd have a problem paddling through it, but I'd like to avoid it all the same and follow my strategy of staying by the shoreline. I think that's a good strategy. Just in case something untoward happens, I can stand up and get out of the boat, or nearly so. Very close to, I don't know, how deep is the water here? Let's see. 3 feet deep, maybe. And that suits me just fine. I do not need to paddle across the middle of the lake. As I mentioned yesterday, I have actually done this canoe trip before, almost 25 years ago, with my sister Mary Beth and our 2 dogs at the time. And it was the very first backcountry trip that my sister and I ever took. Well, she had gone backpacking, I think, a couple times before, but the first trip we took together, and my first trip that wasn't just car camping, and we had a grand time. We had no idea what we were doing. We had my dad's canoe. We had some gear, such as it was at the time. And we packed our gear in plastic bags and loaded all that and the dogs in the canoe, and somewhere down these lakes, I don't remember where it was, the dogs tipped the canoe. And everything ended up, including us, ended up getting soaked. And it turns out plastic bags are, plastic trash bags are not terribly waterproof. We did end up camping actually pretty close to where I camped last night, and dried out our gear and had a little campfire. It was a wonderful, wonderful trip despite the tipping of the canoe, and kind of my first real experience in the backcountry. And this truly is backcountry. I mean, there's rescues certainly possible because they can come up the lakes, but they can't come up with motorized vehicles. So it would have to be some strong people rowing up that current. And what a beautiful place for your first backcountry experience. Kind of got me hooked. I've gotten some better gear since then. I actually have some waterproof bags. I also have a water-resistant cell phone. I was a very early adopter of cell phone technology, and during that trip I actually brought my cell phone with me, and it was one of those bricks that you flip out the mouthpiece and pull up the antenna, and had buttons, and there's no screen, big old thing. It got lost in the great canoe tip over. It is living somewhere down at the bottom of one of these lakes now. Oh, it's just lovely. Sure, Fluffy's not quite as thrilled, but he's doing okay. There's a little river channel right there. We're gonna see if we can go up it. It's pretty shallow. Probably be easier just to get out and walk the boat up this. But let's see. Ooh. There's mosquitoes here for sure. Where do we go? Left or right? There is no left, so we're going right. Can't believe we haven't bottomed out already. Oh, that's bottom. I suppose I could get out here because it's pretty shallow, but it's kind of cool going up this little channel. Yep, as long as I stay away from the bushes. Good boy. There we go. That's the end of the line. Good boy. Good boy. Dry land. Yay. There's the little channel we boated up. And somewhere around here should be a trail. We're gonna have to look around. We found the trail. We found a nice little shady spot on the trail. There are lots of biting flies around. I'm gonna douse myself with some more bug spray. And if that is successful, we're gonna have a little lunch here. Goodness, so many flies. Ooh, there's some big bitey things flying around. The trail was maybe 25 feet from where I parked the boat, so pretty close. Ah, buggies don't like this stuff. Not as bad. Of course, they do like Fluffy. That's a problem. Being super creative about food. Again, we're having prosciutto and brie sandwich that Fluffy Dog would love to have some of, and which he will have some of. Oh, those flies just love your face, buddy. My bread is a little smushed. Still tastes good though. Yeah, you get those flies. They're mean and nasty and we don't like them. Oh, don't eat the big ones. He's totally trying to eat the very large ones. The trail was super easy to find because just as we walked up, there was a gal coming by with 4 horses who was packing out over here with the horses. What a great place to take a pack trip, except for the mosquitoes. Yeah, that's the brie, or that's the prosciutto. Yes, you will have some. You shouldn't get too worried. Trash bag. Some of this prosciutto is all stuck together, super thin sliced. There we go. We'll give you some, I promise. I'll give you a pretty big chunk. Except for the bugs, it's a pretty amazing day. Oops. I guess you get that whole thing. There you go. Let's get some brie. That is not for you. Not for you just yet. I know there's some nasty bugs out here. There you go. Fluffy's very happy to stand right in front of the camera. Oh, he's going to get real lucky because I have a lot of brie left over. Oh, there's damn flies. Those are the big flies I see flying around are definitely a pretty nasty biting fly. Prosciutto and brie. It's a classic. Oh. Damn flies. And mosquitoes. We have a plan, and that is to hike kind of back downstream, cross the little river channel that we came up, and hike to a little spot called Porcupine Falls. I have no idea if those are any kind of spectacular falls or if they're just meh, but that's where we're going. Just a little stretching our legs and getting some exercise. It's only about 3 miles if I'm reading my map correctly, so it shouldn't be too crazy of a hike. You smelling the flowers? What a pretty little stream inlet there. That's where the water from our little river stream is coming from. What'd you find? Something good? Good boy. Good. That's not a great looking log. We're probably gonna get wet. Good boy. That's a little deep. You can come upstream if you want. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Another stream crossing. Do you like it better up there? Yeah, that's not better. Good boy! Fluffy crossed that. I was not expecting Fluffy to cross that, but he did. As I climb over this next log, just a little bit uphill and we will get to the falls. Come on, Bugs! Okay, let's go across. And up. Okay. Well, that's about as close to Porcupine Falls as we're gonna get. I met a guy coming down. I was pretty close to the top of them, actually. I met a guy coming down who was, I'm like, did you see the falls? And he's like, well, you can't really see them from up there. So it was a pretty gnarly climb up, pretty straight up switchbacks that did not give much relief. So kind of calf killers. So I decided I didn't need to go up any further. So there's our lovely falls behind us, and we are headed back to camp. We made it back before any serious weather happened. It's just a little drizzly. I'm not upset about that because I'm hoping that it'll rain hard enough to tamp down the mosquitoes a little bit. But it's starting to rain harder, so I'm gonna hop back up to the tent. We are having a brief respite from the horrendous mosquito activity because a little storm just came through. I was hiding out in my tent because the storm earlier lasted like 5 minutes. So it got hot and the mosquitoes became a problem. They're still here. You might see them buzzing around, but they're not nearly as bad as they were. So we tried a little fishing, and then as you can probably hear the thunder and lightning started, and I decided I didn't want to be right on the edge of the water standing up while that was happening. So we've come back to the tent and we're gonna make some dinner. It's gonna be super exciting as usual. Let's see if I can find what I need in here. Mountain House. Lasagna with meat sauce. That's a new one for me. How much do we have to add to this? 1.5 cups. Which is 8 ounces plus 12 ounces of water. Oh, that almost hit my foot. These bags are so hard to close. They don't like to close all the way. Because they have kind of heavy duty zip locks, and those always are a little more difficult to close, and obviously that's popped back open. I wish I had a fan, because these are definitely the type of mosquitoes that if you had a fan it wouldn't be a problem. Or my thermocell, but I couldn't find refills for it. Oh, bastards. I might have to go hide in the bug mesh again, because they are coming out in force. Mountain House lasagna. We are cowering in our tent because of the rain. You can kind of hear it coming down. It's been intermittent, raining and then not raining, raining really hard, and then raining very gently. Sounds like it's amping up again. Well, it's okay. It's edible. Doesn't really taste like lasagna. It'll do. Don't mind the rain, but it was really thundering and lightning just a little bit ago. If the thunder and lightning stays away, I'll probably throw on my rain jacket and try to do a little more fishing. So, oh, got him and then I let him go. Damn. Got him. Gotta take advantage of the most bug-free times as possible, and if it's raining, fewer bugs. And while there's still a few mosquitoes in here, not in the mesh, and we're doing okay mosquito-wise. It's not so bad. Fluffy's not happy about the current sitting in the tent situation. He'll be happier when he figures out he gets some of this lasagna. What do you think, Fluffsters? Are you stuck in the tent? Are you stuck in the tent? Not so many bugs in here, though. The rain and thunder and lightning have stopped. I am all dressed up in my rain gear. Not because I think it's going to rain again, but I think it might provide me a little more protection from the mosquitoes. So far, so good. It's a little tree. Oh, we're getting mosquito cloud. Well, that was fun, but obviously no fish. That's okay. It's just practice and learning. Mainly practice and learning how to cast. So I think we're getting in as much practice as we can. Climbing up a little hill here. The rain jacket and rain pants worked. I did have to roll my pants down further so that they would be in the water because my calves, which were exposed, were getting eaten alive. And I probably have 30 bites, mosquito bites on each of my hands. So I'm gonna go hide in the tent. The mosquitoes are terrible. I think I'm officially out of bug repellent. So that's an issue, but that's okay. We're gonna be out of here tomorrow. We will start the canoe trip home tomorrow morning and hope that there's not too many mosquitoes out on the river and the lakes. We'll see. There's so many right now. You can probably, yeah, you could see them back there behind me swarming the netting. It's quite impressive how many mosquitoes there are here. that's it for today. Ooh, I think I got him. Yes. Dead mosquito. Anyway, Fluffy's all tucked in. I'm going to read my book for a little bit, and we will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It's a little bit cooler out this morning than it has been, and so there are no mosquitoes so far. I'm not counting on that to last though, so I'm gonna get the tent packed up real quick and the boat packed up, and we are gonna hit the water. The tent is still very wet. Boy, and your back feet. Good boy. Hey, you can't sit on my spot. Turn around. That's a good boy. You come a little bit forward. There you go, now sit. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. This is so awkward. This should be a lot easier than our walking up this. It's probably gonna go pretty fast because the current is moving. Our biggest issue is gonna be deciding what's the best path through these rocks. I don't think I'm on the best path through these rocks. This is gonna hit me. I think I found a spot. I'm gonna have to be on my toes here a little bit so we don't get stuck in between rocks and that tree. Or, whoo, Oh, or high centered. There we go. There we go. There's a tree there. I don't know what the best route is here. Because of my awesome paddling skills and reading the river skills, I had to get out there to walk the boat a little bit, and I gotta pay attention because we're getting into someplace shallow again. I gotta get in deeper water. Oh, shallow, shallow, shallow. Really shallow. All right, made it through. I think this side of the bridge looks a little deeper. Oh, big tree under there. All right, we're good. Yay! There goes the bridge. I think the biggest problem so far I'm having downstream is to stay out of the really shallow stuff. And that's a little challenging because I can't really tell from where I am right now what's shallow. The good thing with the fact that it's just me trying to stay out of the shallows is that if I get stuck, I'll be able to walk us out of it, but I don't want to do that if I don't have to. It's pretty shallow. Yay, we made it through with only one little scrape. We're coming upon another little riffle where it's shallower, and I think we're gonna kind of stay to the right of it if we can. Or on the right side of it, I should say. We're gonna stay on the right side of it, and hopefully that'll be deep enough, and it looks like it is. There we go. Nice. Saw a couple ducks earlier, so that took flight. So Fluffy is on the alert. He's on the lookout. He wants to spy another duck. He's not going to jump out the boat to do anything about it, but he would like to see another one. We're riding backwards for a minute. to enjoy the view, which you can't see because of Fluffy's head, but lovely mountains. All right, time to pay attention. Turn back the correct direction. Hope this doesn't get too shallow. Oh boy. It's okay, it's just fishing, people. You're fine. It's okay. Oh, Fluffy dog. Hi there. He's pretty sure you guys are bears. Are you protective of your boat now? Huh? Are you protective of your boat? Yeah. Oh my goodness. You fully protected us from fishermen. I think that we probably didn't need protection from them, Fluffy. You're a good boy. We have exited the outlet stream and are now in the lake. Now it's just a pretty easy paddle home. Well, to the Jeep. Not quite home yet. Now that we're not so close to shore and critters, Fluffy has finally settled down a little bit. Whew. There's no current on the lake, or very little, and no breeze blowing, so this is going to be all paddle all the way back across the lake, which is I'm very happy to have a beautiful, close to glassy lake this morning. It makes for pretty easy paddling, and I don't have to worry about the boat getting tippy and Fluffy getting worried. You got a mosquito on your face. Okay. Damn mosquitoes. Fluffy's scanning the side of the river just in case I think there's more people he needs to bark at, or ducks, or deer, or elk, or moose, or bears, chiselers, anything he needs to protect us from. We made it. It took about 2 hours to get downstream to the beach, and it had taken us about 4 hours to get upstream, so it wasn't too bad. The last little bit had a pretty good headwind, but just paddled a lot harder, and we made it. Fluffy's already hanging out in the Jeep, waiting for me to get all this stuff loaded up. We have a whole lot more adventures planned. And for those who are following along with our Colorado Trail videos, we are hopping back on the Colorado Trail pretty soon, and we'll be bringing you more videos, but for now, it's time to go home. We're loaded back up in the car, and I almost forgot something. In our last video, I was talking about a four-wheel drive road, and we did go visit said four-wheel drive road. We came, we saw, we said next time. The Rubicon is amazing, and I drove a teeny little bit of it, and I think I'm capable of driving it, and I think the Jeep is capable of driving it, but based on what I could see at the time and what I had driven over, the risk of damage was too high without a couple more skid plates and a spotter. So we decided to save that for another day, which is ironic because I was worried about damaging the Jeep, and then this happened on the highway. Oh well. The Rubicon will be waiting for us. I'm hoping next year I'll have more skid plates and bring my spotter with me, and we will tackle that trail. See you soon.